Batra Daf Zayin, continuing from Vav Amud Bet, second wide line. Amar Nachman Amar Shemuel. Someone has a roof that's over the neighbor's courtyard. So my roof is hanging and it's above my neighbor's courtyard. The roof guy must put a fence 4 amot high to block the view. But between two rooftops, there's no need because same frequency of usage. Rahman himself said, you have two rooftops next to each other, you don't have to put a 4 amot fence. You should put a 10 tefach fence. So now, Gemara says, what's the point of 10 tefachim? Is to stop visual damage. You need 4 amot. What's a little 10 tefachim doing? It's like 35 inches. But if it's to catch someone trespassing as a fence, if it says all you need is sticks as a boundary. So if you want to stop animals from crossing over, all you need is a height that the animal can't run over it, which is probably half of that, 5 tvachim. So what's the point of 10 tvachim? Really, it's for trespassing. If he says and truthfully, boundary sticks could be enough. So but the thing is, regarding that 10 tefach boundary, if you catch the guy over, if you just put the sticks, the guy, if you catch him trespassing, he might say it was a mistake, he stepped over to get something. But 10 tefachim, you've noticed. Okay, someone's courtyard is above the roof, right? The inverse of the other case. My courtyard is above someone else's roof. No, you can have that in urban areas. And is kakinlo. The owner of the courtyard is not have to build the roof, to build a fence to block his view of the roof. My love in the sounds like you're protected from everything, even 10 tefachim. Against Rav Nachman. Gemara says la. In the skin of Ramot, no, when you're saying you're patur from building, you're patur from a 4 amot fence, but you should build 10 tefach. Itmar. Two courtyards, one's higher than the next. The lower courtyard guy must build a wall from his level until the level of the other guy's courtyard. So if the lower courtyard is 3 amot till the second courtyard's length height, he has to build a 3 amot wall till he reaches the courtyard of the above guy. And the guy takes over from the upper guy takes over from that level. But his says no. The upper guy must actually help not only build the top but also assist the lower. The guy can't say I'm just building myself. He has to bring and help the lower one. But if it's courtyards above the roof, then you're patur. Right? Poof. Exactly like Rav Chizda. Story. And there were two brothers that lived in the same house. They got it as inheritance. One was living above. The second one was living in the bottom apartment. The lower apartment ceiling, which is the floor, the second floor, started sinking into the ground. I'm going to tell the lower guy told the upper guy, come, let's break down the building and rebuild it so I could live normally in my first floor. The upper guy said, no, I'm fine. No need to do it. Okay, fine. I'll pay for the damage to demolish and rebuild it. Don't worry, you don't have to pay. I don't have a place to live. I'll rent you a place. Just get out so I can destroy the house so I can live comfortably on the first floor. I said, I don't want to move. It's too much of a hassle to move. I feel him, but still a little annoying, right? The people who will say no to anything, even if it makes sense. But then the younger brother says back to him, okay, look, I can't live like this. The walls are collapsing. Whereas the upstairs brother says, if you want to get out of your house, crawl on your stomach to get out and go back in, and I don't care how uncomfortable it is. Hama says that technically, yes, the upper brother has the right to stop him from doing it. Now, let's point out certain details. That only applies to Lomatu Kishuri Lomatu Asira. That only applies if the first floor is above 10 tefachim. But if it reaches under 10 tefachim, under basically 3 feet, then it's too short. And he can tell him the downstairs guy, the downstairs guy can tell the upstairs guy, it's officially my territory that you're living in. And you're not allowed to use it. And since now you're in my space, we have to destroy and build. Also, additionally, that only applies that the guy can't send them out until 10 Tvachim, is if there's no condition from before. Right? If they did make the condition, then if he says if this starts to sink and I'm living uncomfortably, then we have to rebuild. That's the halacha. Okay, so when you see the condition, what do you mean? What's the condition? How long does it have to go? אמר רבנן כמי דרבא מש מדרבא מזטר נחמן, תאמר מש מדרבא נחמן, כאותה שינוי למשנה, רמו כחצי אורכו וחצי רוחבו. We learn from the Torah the length of construction or the value of a house, classic house, is the height of the room, of the house, whatever it is, has to equal a half of the length and width. Right? So, like for example, the hechal, it was 40 amot long, 20 amot wide. Half and half is 30. And that's why the height was 30 amot. Right? Half the length plus half width equals height. That is the minimum. If they make a condition from before, that is the math. Amar Rabba says to him, he says, whoa, I already told you, don't talk nonsense on Rav Nachman, and don't hang empty pictures, the term is. Basically, don't misquote Rav Nachman with something wrong. The following, as long as people have comfortable to live in. What does that mean? What's comfortable to live in is if the guy's carrying tall branches into the house, as long as he has enough room to walk in and turn around and move around the load without any issues, that is considered a correct height for the condition. And if it's lower than that, they have to destroy. A person was building a wall behind the windows of his friend's house. All right, that wall was now blocking the sun. I'm like, you're darkening my house. Not fair. Break down your wall. I'll pay to fill up your walls. I'll put cement. And I'll make new windows above so that you could be above my wall. Again, very stubborn person. You'll damage my wall if you do that. I'll destroy the whole wall until the place of the new windows, and I'll rebuild it. I'll make you new windows in the new wall part that will be higher than my wall so that you have no problem. Right? No, it's not going to destroy your house. 1 second. The old wall on the bottom that you're not destroying, is not going to be secure if you're building something on top. Okay, I'll rebuild the wall from top to bottom. When I rebuild it, I'll make new windows on top above my wall. Can't do that because if you make a new wall attached to an old house, it'll fall down. This guy obviously wanted his wall there because he's saying, I will destroy your whole house, but I'll make you a whole new house and your windows will be above my wall. I don't know a place to live. I'll rent you a place. I don't want to move. I don't want to do it. He says, Rav Chama says again, you can stop him. Says, how many two separate cases? The cases of the wall the roof coming down, and now this case of the wall blocking the light. Both cases Rav Chama says the same thing, that you can't force the guy to stop him from bothering you, from either evicting you or forcing you to stop building the wall. So why in both cases? Even if this guy is using his house just for storage, he's putting straw, and therefore maybe you might think he can't claim that he needs sunlight because he doesn't. Again, he still can stop you from building the wall and stopping you from destroying his house to move. Okay, there were two brothers that divided a Yerusha between them. One guy that got a mansion, one guy got a garden. They obviously paid the difference. The guy who got the garden built a wall by the front, which is blocking the sunlight into the mansion. Amarle, come after the light. So 1 second, you're blocking you're making my mansion dark. Amarle, Bedidi coming in. Okay, fine, I'm building my own property. Amar Rav Hama Bedin Kamarle, Rahma says, okay. So Amarle Ravina Rashi, my Shnam, I have to tell you, 1 second. Shnei Achin Shechalko. We know we have two brothers that we have two brothers that split the property from their father. One guy to the vineyard, one guy to the grain, the field of grain. The owner has a amount of land 4 amot wide in the field. That they made a condition specifically to do that, to have him have space to walk around. So we see that the brother, when he got this land, he got extra land from the grain because he needed space to, let's say, bring his plows into the vineyard. So we see that we accommodate people by inheritance, that you are able to utilize your property from the inheritance as much as possible. So how come the mansion guy can't stop the guy from building the wall? Mar says, over there, they split the property and they included those 4 amot extra into the vineyards inheritance. The Gemara says, so over here also, what are you talking about? The Gemara says, what kind of nonsense is that? If you're saying that they split it over here also with the garden and the mansion, of course they also had to pay each other off. Of course, they had the mansion guy had to pay the garden guy the difference. So of course this happened, and still we see you can't stop him. It's true that they split the money. Regarding the bricks, the guy paid him off for what he gained. He didn't split the open space, and therefore he can't stop him from building the wall. Okay, but let the mansion guy tell the garden, make it up. I got a mansion. Now you're making me a dark mansion. That's not what I inherited. I told you you're getting a mansion, and that's what you get. Like we saw in Baba Siyam as well. Someone's telling his friend, I'm selling you the Bet Kur land, right? Bet Kur is a massive amount of property. The huge over here is that if I'm telling you I'm selling you the Bet Kur land, even if it's not a Bet Kur size, right? It's a 3 football field size. So if say it's not that full size, not 900 yards, really it's 500 yards, but because it's called the Bet Kur land, it still goes through. Even though it's only the size of letech, which is half, the sale goes through. Because it's telling you, he sold you the name of the field. Right? That's what the field is called. And that's why it's called Bet Kur, and that's why the sale goes through. Also, in other cases, I'm selling you the pomegranate field. Even there's no pomegranate, the sale goes through because he sold you that field. And that field is called the pomegranate field. The vineyard, but there's no grapes. Sale goes through because he's only selling him the name. It's called vineyard. So we see that the guy should tell him back. Listen, I got you. The garden guy can tell the brother, this is what you bought. I'm changing it now, but that doesn't make a difference. You still have your mansion. Bidame, it's not the difference. So the Gemara says 1 second. That's not it's not a good claim. Regarding the seller to the buyer, can tell him the name. But over here you can't say that. Over here, the guy can say, I got the mansion to live in it like dad did. And dad didn't live it when it was dark. So therefore it's different against Rabbi Chama. Now, he says the following to them. He says, listen, we're going to bring a proof to Rav Chama. The Hachamim go like themselves. Rav Chama and Shmuel. Brothers that split property in inheritance, right? If they split inheritance, one guy took one thing, one guy took the other, they can't cross into the property. So even though, let's say the dad used to have 2 properties next to each other and he used to walk through one field to get to the other, once they split it, the brothers, they don't have the same rights as their father, whether it's walking through the property, leaning ladders against each other's property, windows and water channels are all separate. You're not sharing anymore with the father. So it's a proof, according to the Hama and now Shemuel, that inheritors don't have the rights of their fathers, which is against what we just said. The question against Rabbi Hama from the case of that the guy could say, I wanted it just like that. Now we're saying we don't care what your dad had. Okay, there was a document that went out that they produced a receipt. So now the orphan's saying, hey, who says it's legit? Basically, Reuven borrowed money from Shimon. Shimon died. Now Reuven brings a receipt to the children. I paid it back. I have a receipt. Amar Rahman says, we don't collect the note. Yani, because we'll explain. We make it but we don't tear up the receipt. So, what's going on? We can't collect the debt. They're not fucked up because they have a possible legit receipt. We can't rip up the note. Because maybe the note of debt, because maybe the orphans will come and bring proof that the receipt is fake, and therefore we wait to see until they get older. In these four cases of Hama. All like Rav Hama, except for the case of the receipt. Because we're not assuming that the witnesses on the receipt would lie, and therefore the receipt is probably legit. But the other cases regarding the properties are all like Rav Hama. We actually are posek Rav Hama that we wait with the receipt. Because if it's legitimate receipt. He should have shown it to us while the father was still alive. We love since he did not, therefore we're assuming that it is fake. Mishnah. Right? There's suppose that's why, since it's possibly fake, we say let's wait until they get older. News. We said one guy in the courtyard can force another guy from the same courtyard to build a gatehouse and a door for a courtyard. Right? Gatehouse is like a security booth, and a door to block people from seeing in. Not all courtyards need a gatehouse. We'll explain. We can force citizens of the city to build for the city a wall or doors and a lock for the city gates. Not every city needs that wall. We'll explain. What's considered a person to be part of the citizen, to be chayav in these expenses? He has to live there for 12 months to be considered there in order to contribute to these taxes. Let's say he bought a house earlier than within that first year. He's considered part of the citizens of the city, and therefore he's starting to pay those fees immediately.